Hey now, good morning. All right. So this is my first time looking at the charts right now. We're jumping straight in. We're about 10 minutes away from when I would actually put a trade in, and I might stick to that. It looks like we're moving down pretty aggressively. That's a really aggressive bar. Our pre-market low, let's mark that real quick. Pre-market low here, I think that is it. We should get a little bounce off this. I might even want to buy one here just to show you. I thought
Order
we'd get a
filled.
little bit of a bounce here. And we might play that, but if not, we're going to put a tight stop on it because I want a really tight stop on this. Very tight. So there's the bounce, and then
Order
there we go.
filled.
That's all we want for a quick little bounce right there, right off the pre-market low. I don't know if you saw that. Could go all the back up the range, but that's all right. A really aggressive down movement right into the pre-market low tends to bounce. You saw how quickly that happened. So that was very quickly. Quick $43. That was just one contract. I wasn't risking a lot because if it got really aggressive, it will just continue to pump down, and we didn't even put a stop in or anything yet. So one contract, a quick, I think 10 points or whatever that was, 20 points, um, bounced straight off of that. So that ended up working out pretty good for us. Okay. Well, we haven't even gotten our volume profile in yet, so let's just do that real quick. That happened instantaneously. Let's see here, 6:30. Because I gotta be ready, baby. Gotta be ready. Now, normally that's not the pattern that we normally take. So we're gonna be looking at this volume profile. Honestly, this looks like a good edge initially, and then right up back to point of control. But that didn't happen. It kind of blew through it. Now it's 8 o'clock. We're still getting our initial balance kind of done. This is why I don't like trading volume profile necessarily before. We want to see how this volume starts to stack out. We're going to start seeing this volume profile grow on these sides, see where buyers and sellers are. As for the 5 minute, though, I'm going to make another mark on the 5 minute for the low here. Yeah, it's crazy. We just bounced right off of that. I don't know if you saw that, but perfectly off that low. Could have got 50 points off of it. But I really don't trust it. We just wanted a little piece of that pie. We didn't want to go crazy. Yeah, huge volume. So this is probably a news catalyst. See, let's check news. The highest volume of the day. It'd be pretty surprising if it wasn't news related. Honestly, a move like that could run so many stops on Top Step on their actual platform that we get into like it'll crash their servers sometimes. So gotta stay alert as well. Even my market order, when I clicked the market cancel, it didn't even like do it right away. There was a little bit of a delay. Um, that's due to third party brokerages and how many people are using their platform. This normally would not happen on a real broker like NinjaTrader that executes extremely well. Interactive brokers, stuff like that. You're not going to tend to get those market ranges, market. My goodness, I can't think this morning. Those market orders wouldn't be delayed. All right. Well, I need to look here. My volume profile. That happens with Top Step. You'll click off the page, click back on the page, and then everything disappeared. So now this is a week low. Market might look to try and tag this again. So we could come all the way back down. But for me, I don't necessarily want to hit that. I'm looking real quickly. Other evidence here of any other plays. This could have been the short right here. Might have been the short that kind of triggered everything. Right here, these rapid buyers, 1.75. Yeah, that worked perfectly. So that's already done. So notice we're coming back down now. This isn't as, even though I know that this could be the target of the lows again, and We're gonna put pressure on that pre-market low. I'm less interested in it. I'm less interested in it. So I want you to think about this candle here for a second. Big candle, huge candle, right? The bar is this bar right here, the red one, which one we're measuring. This bar retraced more than 50% up back towards the top. So the only way to really see where that volume was is to look at the footprint. We could see a little bit here from this angle where buyers were. So it's saying most of that volume is right here, be 2671 to 47, but we've already blown through that. So those buyers really aren't present there. There was a hot reaction from this low here, so possibly these buyers here. We're going to see though. Nonetheless, we are going to be, I think, we get below these pre-market lows, I'm going to be a little short biased. Otherwise, I'm not really liking it too much. See, 757. Now, normally, I don't even take that much time looking at the charts, right? I'm just waiting for the data to kind of catch up. But if I had to put a short anywhere right now, I'd probably put it right here. Right here, kind of a wide stop, point of control. Like a little bit of a 1-to-1, 30 points. So 30 points can afford us, let me see, 60 a contract. We could do about 3 to 4 of those. I think I'm going to do 3 of those. Yeah, we're going to run it right off this. So now I would typically just close my laptop. My brackets are already in, so when I enter into a position, I'm risking 150. That'll be my stop. And 200 will be my profit. So my stop will be a little tighter than what I want. It'll be roughly, I think, 25 points, which is going to be roughly right here. That's just a little tighter than what I want. I'd prefer to have it a touch looser, but I still think that it's very viable for us to touch up and then come down and hit this pre-market low, which it'll need to get probably right down to here first. A little tricky, but nonetheless, that's what happened there. All right. That's pretty much it. I mean, I walk away now, typically. But since we're here live streaming, we're going to go over a couple more things. Or I'll just give you some insight on some other things, actually. Why don't we check some other stocks, huh? And we could just look at the 30-second on this. Need to take us through the whole thing. All right, so if we were to do pre-market low, pre-market high, here's your pre-market low. High, I mean, here is your pre-market low. And look at bounce right off that pre-market low as well. Yeah, so we're in the range. We're going to take our fixed volume profile. We're going to have a little peak here at 30, yep. And point of control is down here. This is suggesting that it's not really ready to move up yet, although this node is growing. And we may be able to take a little long here. I kind of like this cliff right here. I like that it's mostly bidders. And we'll just play that right back up to point of control. Our stop will be roughly at this ledge. So yeah, if it goes back down here, that's one play that we could do. If I do that, it'd be with one track though. I'll just run it if I'll run it for example's sake, but I definitely am not going to do it for if not managing it off the screen. Let's see, GL. Let's look at. I think it's just MGC. There we go. I remember these tickers. All right, gold had a big little dip this morning. Still within pre-market range though. All the way down here for pre-market low. All the way up here for pre-market high. Maybe even up here. Nope, right here. Had a hard time getting above pre-market high. We're still in the range. So remember, in the range, if we're within the pre-market low, pre-market high, we can play the market both ways. We just need to look for something that's viable. Gold's a lot sloppier. I'm not going to lie to you. Gold is a lot sloppier. I might even bring this back just a hair here. Yeah. So this is a big, wide range D shape. Probably be more interested in shorting right here, up at this little node up here. Maybe right here. Honestly, that's not terrible either. Like maybe right there, and then just play maybe a little bit of highs, get like a 2-to-1 out of it. Yeah. Play the highs, get a 2-to-1. I mean, we don't even need to be that big of a stop, honestly. 4850 psychological, so maybe we'll go 4855. 4506, there we go. That'll be our psychological number. And then play it back down to there. We could throw 1 in here. Yeah, throw 1 in there. Now, overall, probably still on an... I don't know what we are, actually. Let's have a little look at gold. By the way, continue to put a lot of pressure on this weak low down here. This is the NASDAQ. Have a little peek at a different time frame. All right. Well, kind of hard to tell. I want to see more days, actually. But all right, so this is running into some... So there's a weak buy. Strong sell. By strong sell. So what I would assume is that you're going to get some selling liquidity here. This is where your sellers are. And your buyers are roughly down here somewhere. Right here. So you have sellers, buyers. So this is why it's having a hard time getting out to here, because it's tapping into liquidity. So that's on the daily chart. We go on the 30-second chart. We notice that we're kind of just bobbing up against that top level liquidity. The market's not ready to do it yet. And this is a big sell-off, so this could go quite a bit lower, but we'll still stick here. And I'm going to stick to my guns. This wasn't a terrible short right here off this corner either, but I just don't like it. I don't like how choppy this is. Yeah, even with that in mind, I'm going to bump it up a little higher. Play this even higher. Yeah. Maybe that was higher. All right. So there we go. I have that. NASDAQ starting to push through now a little bit. Let's get back to the NASDAQ. Let's check the MES, actually. MES is dumping as well. Yeah, this is looking pretty heavy. So we might be looking shorts only today. Let's just have a little peek. Yep, new lows again. So those are the weak lows it targeted. So we got the quick bounce this morning. And as I said, it's likely that it's going to push back down. It has pushed back down. Now we're looking to short this area as well. This is looking like an okay short. I like right here. I'm going to sell another 3 right here. 30 points. Yeah. So we have 2 areas of short there. I like this one a little bit better. Gives me a little bit of insurance towards the 700s. Yeah. Now we're looking at this. So I wonder what the catalyst was. I never got to see the news. Trump 754. So there's your news right there. Trump will not open Strait of Hormuz until deal signed. Ceasefire expires Wednesday evening. Highly unlikely I'll send ceasefire with Iran. That's why we're getting downward pressure right now. I knew there was some kind of catalyst. For you to have the highest volume in the day beyond the opening bar, there's either a catalyst of like bad news, or also possibly it could be like earnings, waiting on earnings like Nvidia or something like that. Or we're waiting on like a Fed rate decision. All of those things, like interest rates and stuff, those things could all change data, could change why we're getting higher volume here than there. So we kind of sat around a little bit. Probably we had a lower morning. Yeah, we had a lower morning than the last probably few days. Not terrible. No, not too bad. Not too bad. But still, it is lower, but it's not as low. But people are probably waiting for that decision to pop on. So Really important. All right, I lost my volume profile again. Put back up there. We're now below pre-market lows. So this thing could dump very quickly, and it's going to be hard to find good entries now. Because we're just not getting enough information. I think this is a good entry right here, 670. Where's our pre-market low at? Keeps going away. So a pre-market low test is also not a bad. If we actually move away from it, this isn't far enough away from it. It's also not a bad move if we can get far enough away from it. All right, so if we want to participate in this short with it, what we're going to need, we already broke this trend a little bit. What we're going to need to see is we're going to need to see increased volume on this bar, and we need a decent bar. We need a bar that's more than 50% of its total length here. 50% in the direction of the trade. So that is what we need. We're dumping, baby. So another way to look at it on a 5-minute bar, just so you can kind of get an idea, we're at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. If we look at the volume, that's 18K, and this is 29K. So we're on track for 36,000, right? 2.5 minutes into the bar. I'm looking right here, by the way, the volume right here. It was at 18.6K. So we're roughly on track for 37.2. 37 point. Yeah, 2. So that's what we're looking for. And we're already at 21. Volume's starting to pick up. So we may participate long here. Short here in a second. Now, if we come to the volume profile, though, it's very messy. We don't really know yet where these guys are at. We might be able to play off this low note here at the 20s, but if it comes back up in the pre-market range, it's less likely we're going to have a continuation. So let's see how this bar finishes. If it still finishes strong, we might just participate short. Now, this isn't necessarily an area where I would want to buy, because we're running into some previous buyers down here. This is why we have this previous support, but the support is really a demand zone. So another look here, 808. So we'll stream for about another 7 minutes. See if this trade ends up going through. And that's it. I'm already on this screen a lot more than I normally am. I'm usually peeled off already. We got our order set in there where we want to short for the volume profile. And we're looking at the last minute of this bar to see what they're going to do. We do have the volume. We just need to have the length of the bar here. Looks like buyers are trying to step this in a little bit. Now, this would be an okay short. I would like it a lot lower. I would like it to get down here and then bounce up and retest and shove down. 25 seconds. $15 seconds. Yeah, it looks like we're fighting to get back above that area. 4, 3, 2, 1. Non-participant. So volume did increase, but a lot of that was absorption. So there's a buyer down here scooping people up. We don't want to participate in a short when that's happening because this could blow all the way back up. That being said, I do have a little bit more confidence in my shorts up here now. So I don't feel too bad about these at all. Looking into the volume, notice that even though there was a lot of time we spent down here, a decent amount of time, not a lot of volume picked up. And it's kind of choppy. So it's just going to get ran through very quickly. We're playing off this corner here. And we're going to try and play it all the way down to this 40s range. We might even be able to go lower, another pre-market test. But let's see if we can get a fill while I'm on camera. That would be nice. Oh, Any questions, by the way, you guys can send me messages or comment on the lives, and I would be very willing to explain some things. It's hard at this level of trading to know what the audience is actually knows and doesn't know. Is like, we could be as simple as not even be able to read these candlesticks, or not understanding the full shapes of the volume profile. I guess I'll go over that really quickly. These are our shapes that we're seeing in the market profile. We're seeing kind of anything that's like a C shape, I'm not really interested. Anything that's D shaped, kind of bubbling out convex, I am interested in. So I'm looking at all these corners, all these shapes, and I'm trying to make conscientious decisions based off of this. Where would I like to short? So I'm shorting off this. This is the most D-shaped up here. Very kind of a steep runoff. I like that. Very interested in that. So that's something I'm going to be looking forward to getting into. That's why I put it here. And then notice up here, we had a little bit of a steep corner here, right here. And I'm going to play that back down to point of control. Might be better for me, honestly, to play the highs, but I don't know. This looks like it could chop through very fast. Yeah, it's really tricky. Very tricky. Might play the node here, actually. It's so tough. If it's tough like this is what I'm saying. If I have to spend more than a minute doing something, the trade is just not worth it to me. So, but in general, I do think that we could play off this range for sure. I think we'll get back over to this area, shove down. We could play the 80s. Yeah, play the 80s. Pretty tough. Pretty tough. All right, back below pre-market lows. We'll probably be bouncing around here for a minute. This stays, it made its attempt. If it stays below pre-market low, this could have a big flush in it. Starting to see a little bit of that volume node come up right here. Oh. See what happens. So the reason why I'm not playing this little shoulder here is because I need a target. I need a price target, and I want to play into this node as a bit of a magnet, right? Because these higher nodes are going to be more like magnets. I don't have anywhere for it to play. I'm not going to scalp for 7 points. I mean, you could, and it's honestly very likely that it will give you 7 points. It's just I'm going to be managing this. I'm not going to be managing these trades, so I'd have to load up like 9 contracts, and it's just not worth. I mean, it is worth for 7 points. I just don't have the data. I prefer really good risk to rewards, and it's just very hard to get a good risk there. All right. Well, that was it. You saw me immediately jump into a trade, catch the long off pre-market lows. I liked the context. It was perfect. I market ordered in. Didn't have time to limit order in. And I think that was it. This is our last minute here. Keep an eye on these levels, 6950, 772. About 100 points difference from each other. I think we can get a little bit of some action here. So